Friday, it's the weekend, and I wanted to share a little bit of information on how to deal with panic attacks, overwhelm, anxiety, and maybe just feeling low and feeling stressed out about everything that's going on right now. So I'm just going to wait for a few people to join, and then we're going to get right into the techniques and the information that can really help you. So what's been happening for me this week, people are getting in touch asking for information with health issues, with anxiety, with just trying to figure out what's happening and how they can deal with it. And the big thing is, when you start to really do this work, you have to stop looking out there at your external environment, and you have to start looking inside the body and feeling. The language of the body is feelings. So the body is going to speak to you in feelings. And that's a language that none of us really have ever been taught. We've never really discussed how we feel about things. We're just, and most of the time now, even if you go to discuss your feelings with a doctor, they only have a short space of time. And if you're not able to manage your emotions and your feelings, then you will get medication to help calm the feeling down so that you can function. Some of us will drink wine, some of us will go for a run, some of us will look for another relationship. But what we're doing all the time is we're chasing a feeling or trying to get away from a feeling. And I think the work of Johann Hari absolutely describes it really well. When you go into a journey of addiction or bad habits, which we all do to some degree or other, it's to get away from our feelings, because nobody really taught us how to manage them and let them go. And, young monks, they get taught from the age of 5 how to breathe. Anybody that follows me already will know the first protocol, if you don't like the feeling in your chest, breathe differently. It will change it within literally seconds. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that today. But I just want to talk to you about yesterday when the announcement came in Scotland that masks were mandatory, and I went into huge rage and resistance. Now this is not a political post about who's right and who's wrong, or loving Nicola Sturgeon or not loving Nicola Sturgeon. This has got nothing to do with that decision. It's got everything to do with my reaction to that decision. And when you start to fully take responsibility for your feelings, you'll know that you cannot change people. You can't change things. Right now, we have to live within a lot of different rules and regulations, tyranny, because of this alleged pandemic. Now, there's nothing we can do to change that. So if you're furious about it and you feel you're being controlled and you feel there's another agenda, all of that may be very relevant, but does it help how you feel? Does it affect and actually literally change the chemistry in your body because of how you're reacting and responding to what's going on out there? So I had a full body reaction yesterday of rage to this new idea that we have all to wear masks. Now, whether you believe wearing masks is right or wrong is completely irrelevant. I'm not talking about the rights or wrongs of people's beliefs. Some people believe that you're being kept safe. Others believe that you're actually putting yourself at more risk. And it's not even about the right and the wrong. The ego will want to come in and say, yeah, I'm right. You need to follow the rules. Because what people do then, if you give another point of view, is they'll try and make you feel guilty. You don't care. You don't care if people die, which of course is absolutely ridiculous. We all care about each other. But what is really interesting is when these opposing belief systems come in, it causes extreme rage. I had full-blown rage yesterday about that decision. And then I had to obviously let it go, because then you start to judge other people and you're like, how could they be so stupid? And again, that is all about me. My reactions, my feelings about not wanting to be controlled, not wanting to be told what to do, all the reading and research that I do takes us off in another direction. But again, that is completely irrelevant. What I want to talk to you about in this video is how to manage your anxiety, your overwhelm, and how you're feeling about all the stuff that's going on. Now, the thing that's interesting about this time is that some people actually have really enjoyed it. And to be honest, for a lot of the time I have. I mean, obviously it was my decision. Situation was a bit different because of my mum. But I know a lot of my friends, they don't like to say it, but they're like, it's just been time off, to focus on themselves, to focus on their family and their friends, and that is absolutely fantastic. But the opposite side of that is, of course, that a lot of people have gone through hell because I was talking to a girl from Alzheimer's Scotland, and a lot of people have just been left in their house alone, and suicides are up, mental health is going through the roof, poor mental health issues. So what is really easy to do if you're all right is to stand from your position of, well, I'm all right, so you should be all right. But again, that's the ego. We have to be able to put ourselves into each other's shoes and understand that, yeah, I'm strong right now, but in 2 months' time, it might be me that's having the meltdown. So either way, we're all impacted by this, and it really can be bringing out the most selfish part of us, which says, I want you to do what I say, and I want you to follow the rules and regulations no matter what, whereas other people are saying, no, I'm not participating in this because I'm not scared of this virus or whatever. But however it is that you're responding or reacting to the politics, to your neighbours, to your partner, to your children, we're living in very, very unusual times. There is no doubt about that. So what I really want to talk to you about is how you can manage your body, your cells, in order to let go and feel a lot happier. Because from a health perspective, you're in two states: fight or flight, or rest and repair. And when we go into fight or flight, the adrenaline comes, the cortisol, everything changes, the chemistry in the body changes, the electromagnetic field changes, and we affect and infect everybody around us. And sometimes when you're in fight or flight, you can see things clearly and you think, right, I am going to take action. But other times it's just like, I don't know what to do. You run around like a headless chicken and you really get nothing done. And you've taken the body away from the rest and repair state. So clearly, what we're wanting to do is stay in the rest and the repair state as much as we can. And when we recognise we're in fight or flight, is to be able to take ourselves out of there. So let's talk about nutrition first. What we eat, obviously, you would have to be living in the desert not to understand or have heard the phrase, your gut biome. What we're really understanding now is that the body is a farm of bacteria, parasites, fungus. There's a lot of stuff going on in the body that we can't see. And that's, I think, the big thing right now is we like to see things, we like to measure it, and we like to understand. When it comes to gut biome and through all that phenomenal digestive system that we have, that the food weaves its way through, there's a whole load of bacteria, enzymes, all sorts of stuff going on in there that helps break the food down. Our body extracts the goodness, if there is any goodness in the food, extracts all the nutrition it needs. It starts to repair and restore the body. Or strengthen it, depends on obviously what age you are and what you're doing. So, or if you're growing, there's 3 cell states. There's the maturing, reproducing, and then the old age where you're starting to go into a different state. So when we nourish the body with Mother Nature's foods, the body gets to stay alive and vibrant, hydrated. And remember, when we talk about this, everything at a cellular level, you cannot separate the food from the feelings. It's just not possible because the food is affecting the cell and the feelings are affecting the cell. So the cells are either contracting really tightly or they're expanding. And remember, you want to be in tune, because when you're in tune and in alignment, the energy can flow. It's that simple. If you want water to go through your garden hose and there's a twist in it, the water doesn't get out, the water doesn't flow. And we are like that garden hose. When we start to contract and judge, we instantly take ourselves out of the rest and repair mode and into the fight or flight, and we cut ourselves off from that flow, which is fine to do that, you know, for an odd time through the day. But the big problem right now is most of us are staying in that state of fight or flight, contraction, cut off from the intelligence that is the universe. So your nutrition is key. But the other thing that is really, really critical to know is if your gut biome is out of balance, which most people's gut biome in the West is, you can do that. A simple spit test will tell you whether you have candida, parasites, bacteria. You'll realise when you get a glass of water first thing in the morning before you've put anything in your mouth, including toothpaste, you spit in it, and I'll put a link on this. You can see what the water does, what the saliva does in the water, and it will tell you whether you have a problem going on in your gut. And why is this important? Because the bacteria in your gut can be telling you what to eat. I crave this because they live on carbohydrate and sugar when they're out of balance. So you might think there's something wrong with you because you're craving all these foods, particularly if you've been drinking wine and beer. Because there is a difference between distilled and fermented alcohol as well. Some types of alcohol cause you to crave more and more and more sugar and disrupting that gut biome. So if your gut biome is out of control and you're literally starting to get eaten from the inside out, well, the body starts to communicate with a feeling, right? There's a problem, there's a problem. Now we look out into the world to see what the problem is because the body's anxious, the body's giving us information, and we do not know the language of the body. So we start thinking, well, I need to eat more, or there's something wrong with me, and we create a big story up here in our heads about how we are, when in actual fact, at the most simplest form, our farm is out of control. So I want this to be very, very basic so that you can take away something from this, 1 or 2 things that you can do to help your gut biome. So one thing is to take out a lot of the processed and refined foods. You should watch the podcast I did yesterday with the Malcolmist, Malcolm Sanders from Calgary. He was a great idea. He said, start thinking about adding things in rather than trying to take things out. So if you add in some organic juice, the celery juice just worked literally within 2 days for me. And I was away for a few days and didn't have it for a few days, and I could feel my stomach starting to feel that sort of way again. So the celery juice is working really well for me. So that's an add-in. Even if you're not changing anything else, you can add in some fermented foods to really help the guts. And again, you have to be careful because there is no one size fits all here. So not everything works for everyone. You have to try it and listen to your body and see how it feels. Maybe it's as simple as more water. And more vegetables. Can you have a live green salad? Can you go and forage for some really live organic foods? Can you add some nuts, hydrated nuts and seeds in? So there's lots of things you can do to put more nutrients and more prebiotics and probiotics into the body. So just think of one healthy thing that you can do. And for me, juicing's the go-to, or even a smoothie with lots of cool things in it. You can sprout your own beans. Don't worry about remembering all this. I'll put a list out. So add something in, just one thing. You don't want to give yourself too many things to do because you'll end up not doing it. So your nutrition is key. If you can cut out your processed foods, and fizzy drinks are the enemy of the gut. Get the fizzy drinks out the equation. And just one day at a time, what can you do today for your farm? So nutrition is key. So you can eliminate the processed foods, the processed sugars and processed grains, and you'll feel an enormous difference. And then you can start to add in, or you can just add in whatever you feel that you can do. Because what you don't want to do is give yourself more stress at this time. So that's your nutrition. And let's talk about hydration. Because what happens when you're dehydrated is the cell membrane, which is really made up primarily of your essential fats, well, if it's compromised, the cells will start to tighten. And guess what happens when the cells start to tighten? You start to feel anxious. So your anxiety can be caused by dehydration. So how do we hydrate? And it's not just about water, although water is clearly very, very important. It's about your essential fat profile. And that's why it's really important to have healthy fats going into your diet. And I think we should all know what they are by now. You can have a lot of the like olive oil and rapeseed oil and sesame oil, all of these oils, but don't cook with them because they are designed to be eaten cold and they don't stay stable at high heat. So as a rule of thumb, if the fat sets at room temperature, you can cook with it. If it doesn't, make your salad dressings with it. Obviously, there's certain foods, lots of oily fish, nuts, seeds, avocados, and a lot of meat, again, sourcing ethically and organically if you can from a local farm market is the best place to get that, or a good butcher's. So your hydration, or you can supplement. Supplementation is a phenomenal tool to help the body rebalance. And you think about it the way you would just take something for a while to help the body get back into homeostasis. And then you can stop and see how you feel. But what people tend to do is they go, what's the latest trend? They buy all the supplements, take them for a few days, and then leave them in the shelf. So what you have to do is actually either do your own research, and you absolutely can, or get some advice from somebody and supplement for your situation. So from a hydration point of view, it's fats. According to Patrick Holford, who wrote the Optimum Nutrition Bible, that only 10% of people will methylate vegetarian sources of fat, which would suggest that most of us need some kind of fish oil. So if you are willing and able to take a fish oil, that's what I would go for. So again, there's hundreds and thousands online. You need to go into your local health shop and ask their advice, because mostly now they're really well up and well trained on the products. And there's so many different brands, I don't really want to go into recommending anything. Although I think we've got the Mad Diet, so I think that would be a good place for you to start, particularly if you live in Scotland. Because again, we want to keep our small businesses going. We're looking to keep our local communities vibrant by shopping local. So that's the nutrition and the hydration. So in a simple form, more vegetables. I'm not saying go vegan or vegetarian because that does not work for everyone, but more vegetables always works for everyone, and less processed foods. More fats, healthy fats, and coconut oil is a big one, but coconut oil, again, it's not indigenous to the UK and it doesn't work for everyone. So you have to listen to your body and give the body a chance to respond. Very often you have to try something for maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks before you've even got a clue if it's starting to work. So, hydration, where are we at now? The gut biome, yes, the gut biome is fascinating. Anybody, again, that knows me or came in the community I am passionate about turpentine for candida. Why? Because I use it myself. Because it's a very, very quick way to get relief from symptoms that are causing all sorts of recurrent infections, thrush, bloating, fatigue. I suffered from candida because really of a lot of dentists, really out of date, old fashioned, barbaric dental treatments. So I ended up with candida, and it took a lot of years of my life where I had no bounce and I had no clue. Nobody really knew about candida back in the day. So your gut biome is absolutely critical to balance that out. Again, you can do it with an elimination diet. Not everybody's drawn to turps, and I'm not saying you should do it if you don't fancy it. Then that's up to you. But turpentine, what you do is you drip the turpentine into the sugar cubes. The sugar cubes attract the parasites out. The turps kills the parasites, but you have to have your bowels moving so that you make sure that anything that's dying inside is getting moved all the way through the body. There are lots of different ways to do a parasite cleanse, but I'm just telling you about that one because that's the one I do and it's quick. The other thing you can do is the elimination diet and a lot of pre and probiotics. Again, quite simply done. It's take out the refined carbs and sugars and put in tons and tons of veggies. You can make it very complicated and complex. And, you know, the big thing with the Heal Scotland message is that this information that we give out is available to everybody. It has to be for free. It has to be. But don't underestimate how powerful it is just because you're hearing it on a free live. Try it. And, you know, it's difficult to make nutritional changes. That's really why I stopped, you know, working in the nutrition field, because a lot of the time people start off with great enthusiasm and then 2 weeks later they stop, and so therefore you don't get the result. We know now from the Gerson, you're looking at 2 years of change and being very careful in your diet to really get the full regeneration capacity of the liver. So if you need support, and this is why we all need to be in this together, you know, it has to be a groundswell. We have to support each other through this. There is no other way to do it, because if I'm trying to, you know, eliminate foods that are destroying my body, and you're sitting there with a rolling bacon and a rolling sausage, which is totally fine for a lot of people, and it might even be fine for you. But if we all understand that food is our medicine, and, you know, Hippocrates said it, it heals us, the power. I've just spent 3 days with Claire Holohan up at her holding in Loch Allen. The power of nature, everything that we need is right there. It's so exciting, because what I love about it is it's accessible to all of us. It doesn't matter if you're poor, homeless, whatever. You can learn this stuff and really, really learn about your body and how to regenerate it and get excited about the future, which only way I can see it working is if we get back to our communities, grow our own food and start looking after each other. Because I know in Glasgow and Edinburgh now, there's like a year waiting list to get help for your mental health. I mean, really? We need to be looking after each other. We need to be talking, communicating, and hopefully that's one of the things that's going to come out of this pandemic. Okay, so nutrition, clean up your act, get tons and tons of veggies in, follow Malcolm's advice and add in real chocolate. There's lots of beautiful products in the market right now, and maybe you can afford to buy them. If you can't, get together with your friends, get the ingredients and make them and share them. Make it, I mean, sharing food has always been a thing that humans do. We need to get back to that too. So we've got nutrition, hydration, which is all really about your essential fats. If you're drinking a lot of water, say 2 litres a day, and you have a poor essential fat profile, well, you're just going to pee that water right out. You do not hydrate at a cellular level. And I'm going to give you, at the end of this, we're going to do some letting go on the anxiety and overwhelm, because all I'm telling you right now is how the nutrition and the water and the chemistry works on the cells. So if you're anxious, you're going to be in a contracted cellular state. And if you're expanded and courageous and curious, you're in an expanded cellular state. So how does the food and the water affect that? And how do our thoughts and feelings and beliefs and perceptions affect it? Okay, so we've got the gut biome, hydration and nutrition. Keep it simple. Is the food whole? Is that the way we got it in nature? If it is, happy days. Now, I want to talk about juicing and celery juice, because again, if you have a very compromised gut, which hundreds of people have, you know, Crohn's, IBS, diverticulitis, and any autoimmune disease, to be honest, juice just might not work for you, as raw food might not. It just might be far, far too much on your system. And you'll probably know very quickly, you drink some raw juice, obviously, or eat some raw food, and you'll feel it straight away. So in that situation, we want to go to much more nourishing, warm foods like bone broth and stews, and foods that the body can just gently heal the gut, heal any perforations that are in there. And again, I mean, I can't go into all in this video, but really, if you just tap into your body with what I'm saying to you and see what you feel your body's drawn to, because the intelligence is inside each one of us. We know intuitively what to do, that most of us have given our power away to somebody else. You tell me what to do. Whereas your body's like going, actually, I'm communicating, that feels good. Am I drawn towards it, or am I repulsed by it? And when I talk about turpentine, people are like, what? That's a paint stripper. Yeah, it's actually the essential oil of a pine tree. And pine, I'm so excited about all this herbal stuff now, but I'm not going to go into that because I'm not going to digress. Let's look at how we cope with anxiety and overwhelm and panic attacks, fear of the future, fear of the past, which takes us out this present mindful moment. So what I want you to do, of course, let's start straight away with the 4-7-8 breath. And what I want you to do is really you're retraining your body. It's exactly like as if I was training you to run a marathon. I'm training you to move out of fight or flight into rest and repair. And the more you do that, the more your body will stay in that place. So like when you were learning to drive and it was really awkward and maybe you resisted it, and maybe some days you felt you were rubbish at it and you wanted to stop, but you knew you wanted to drive, so somehow you dragged your ass back into the car, you made yourself do it. This work is exactly the same. You need to want to be the master of your emotions, the master of your thoughts, the master of your perceptions and your reactions and your relationships. All of that is really what's going to make you the best, happiest, healthiest human. And that's really all that we want. Most of us aren't really looking for anything major. We would just like to be at peace and perhaps be excited about our life and perhaps even think, did I come here for a reason? What is the purpose of me being here? Who brings out the best in me? And let's get together with your tribe. There's never been a better time to tribe up with action takers, the people that believe and think similar to you, but at the same time, releasing all your judgment and reaction around people who do not believe the same as you. Because the ego comes in and wants to be right, wants to take somebody else down and make them feel bad. Whereas what we're saying is, actually, you guys, we're all struggling here. You guys do what you want. Let me keep my eyes on myself and my cells and actually get them into that expanded state. Let the energy flow. Let all the fear, all the stress go, because guess who that is poisoning? You, nobody else. So as they used to say in the project I work in, don't let anybody live in your head rent-free. You need to just focus on you, take your eyes off others. So start off with the 4-7-8. Okay, so it's breathing in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. Okay, and just some nice free breathing. Okay, and just breathe. Now you may already have just noticed a slight change in your energy. Maybe it feels a little bit calmer. Where do you keep your fear? Where do you feel it? What happens is when we feel our fear in here, we affect the lungs. Okay, because the lungs are underneath this energy centre. When we feel it down here, we're affecting our digestive system and our internal organs. So it's really important to feel, where are you feeling it and what are you affecting? So, and it doesn't matter. You don't need to make a big story up about it. Just feel it to heal it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to tap around on anxiety. One of the best things that you can do straight away is either breathe or tap. And don't get caught up in the process. There's a million ways to do it, and everybody's got their own idea, and everybody wants to sell a book and get money, and it's my way is the best way. What we all do is we teach the way it worked for us. I had a brilliant podcast with Angela Trainer, which will be going up over the weekend, and she was saying that as well. Every part of her healing journey and how she helps others, because she healed herself and helped herself, and then you told people, this helped me. And that's all anyone can do. I'm not trying to sell you anything. There's millions of stuff on YouTube. You can go on and you can look and research more. All I want you to do is to fully get that you can change how you feel and you can calm your anxiety down to a place that you feel comfortable. And when you do that, you will start to see things differently, because your emotional scale will dictate what you think. So when you change how you feel, your thinking will change immediately. And when James McFadden does the Breathe and Believe, he gets people to go into ice by getting them to breathe this phenomenal process for 45 minutes. And then they're so expanded and relaxed, they go into ice, even when previous to the breathing, they never believed they could. So the breathing and the tapping will change what you believe. It will expand your horizons. You'll start to say, oh, maybe I have the power, because you have the power, but nobody's ever taught us. So let's just start by tapping. Even though I've been feeling anxious, just breathe in and out. There's no rules here. Just tap, tap, tap. Even although I've had this anxiety in my chest and my stomach, my belly and my head. Even although I've been worrying about my future. Maybe you're worrying about your kids. Anxious teenagers, huge problem just now. Even although I've been worrying about things out with my control. Even although I want to wear a mask. Even although I don't want to wear a mask. Even although I believe different things from other people. I deeply and completely love, trust and accept myself. Even although I've been finding this really hard. Even although I've been loving it. Even although I've been hating it. Even although I've been up and down and all over the shop. Even although I've been having all these dark feelings and thoughts and fears. Even although I'm worried about my future, my job, my business. Even although I don't know which one of my neighbours is snitching on me. Even although I'm paranoid. Even although I'm wanting approval. I deeply and completely love, trust and accept myself. Okay, deep breath. Okay. So you may feel something quite significant from doing that. Maybe you're still like, I don't feel anything. This doesn't work. It doesn't matter. It's all just thoughts and feelings. So then just let the energy settle. So that the meridians are like the drains in your house. You know, stuff gets stuck there and causes you to think there's a problem when there actually isn't. So all we're doing is we're letting the energy flow. We're just saying, even although we think these things and feel these things, it's okay. We're human. We're all human. We're all struggling in some way or other right now. Things are changing. It's okay. So you let go of all the negative thoughts and then tap with me again. I'm letting go of all this fear. I'm letting go of all this stress. I have the power to change how I feel. I'm letting this stress go. I'm releasing all judgment of my neighbours and friends. I allow myself to feel compassion, kindness and love. I am open to trusting that it will all work out for our higher good. I allow myself to tune in to my body, to hear my truth. I'm open to listening to my intuition. I have the power to change how I feel, to change my energy field. I have the power to heal myself. I just need to let go of all the limiting beliefs and preconceptions and other people's points of view. I'm a powerful human being and I'm letting go of all my fear and stress because I can. Deep breath. Okay, how does that feel? If anybody wants to ping me a message, feel free. I've got my computer here. I can look at your comments. Okay, just take a nice few deep breaths. And another brilliant tip that I got a couple of weeks ago was the humming. Now, we had Sergio Lopez, the humming man, with us in the community, but to be honest, it was never actually one of the techniques that I'd been using, but let's just do it now. I mean, I know if these things are new to you, you'll be like, it's a lot of rubbish. That doesn't work. Try it. Try it first. Don't knock it till you've tried it, as they say. So again, it's just really simple, and you can do it anywhere. Do it in your car, do it in your bed. So you just breathe in and then hum all the way out. So breathe in and hum. And breathe in. See, it feels quite nice. It feels really nice. So these techniques, I'm going to do one more with you, but these techniques, you need to practice them. And it's the people that practice anything that get the results. If you want to be good in the piano, you're not going to get it with one piano lesson a week. And you're not going to get, even if you do this an hour a week with somebody, you need to practice. You need to fire the brain into rest, restore and repair. I'm restoring and repairing, I'm restoring and repairing. So stay in that state, because as soon as you're like, but what if we all die? She could kill me. What are they doing out there? You inhibit the flow of energy and you kick yourself back into fight or flight. And then you're like, and that'll happen. It happened to me yesterday, big time. And then you just choose one of the techniques, the 4-7-8 breath. I'll put the link to the 10-minute beginner Wim Hof. Brilliant. Breathe, particularly if you're getting your pain and your angst here. Breathe it away. You have the power. That feeling is simply energy. That's all it is. And you can move the energy. You can suppress the energy. You can hold on to the energy. You can explode the energy, or you can just let it go. The choice is yours, but it's becoming conscious. You are the most powerful being. And now we're waking up to that power. And to me, it's all about managing your emotions. So if you can manage your emotions and get from rage that I was in yesterday, to laughing, because let's face it, guys, we are going to need our Scottish sense of humour to get through whatever's coming up. Fear, well, if we can use it to take action, to help ourselves, to help our communities, happy days. But in general, that constant fear is burning you out. You'll be exhausted. This is exhausting enough without you actually adding it, like think, telling stories, making things up. It's all crazy. We have to go, right, okay, the negative thoughts come in. That can only mean one thing. You've got negative feelings in your body, because the feelings and the thoughts go together. So let's look at your thoughts. Now, one of my friends recently had to go to Australia on a mission of mercy because her daughter's not well. And they wouldn't let her in because she needed to get a compassionate visa. And so I was talking to her, and obviously she was very distressed as to when, because you can't talk to anybody, it's all online. She had no indication whether it would be a day, 2 weeks, a month to get the visa. So I was obviously, the visa's here, you feel it in your body, see it, the visa's here, you're on that plane. We have to think of the best case scenario. Now, of course, that's easier said than done, than my mum always used to say to me. But if your default setting, I'm a worrier, I always go to the worst case scenario with COVID. I'm going to die. Everybody I love's going to die. Just stop right there. Is that true? You've got around 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, maybe 180,000 the way people are going right now. The thoughts come through. Where do they even come from? They're going passing through. We grab one and we believe it. Who is doing the believing of the thoughts? I will die if I get COVID. My loved ones will die if I get COVID. Is it true? Can you categorically 100% know that it's true? Now, you may believe that, and you may want to believe it. This is not really about the rights or wrongs of COVID. This is about, are the things that you're choosing to believe expanding your cells or contracting you into fear? It's that simple. So if you feel safe, expanded, yes, this is the right thing, this is great. Happy days, that works for you. But you need to bear in mind that's not working for others. All that stuff is putting them into fear state. So you have to allow them to have their beliefs and to work on their feelings. So is it true? What is the best case scenario? Even if I got COVID, not just COVID, any disease, because it's a flu, right? Even if I got that, I would be, my immune system strong enough to support and get me well again. So you see, you're choosing what you want to believe. And our beliefs drive our epigenetics. So if you want to read more about this, read Bruce Lipton's Biology of Belief. The biology of our beliefs, it is very, very, very helpful to believe good things. That I will survive. And even if you don't survive, you believed for months and months that you would, so you didn't put unnecessary stress in the body. If I believe, I'm going to get it, I'm going to die, what about them, where were they, where was she? All that does is changes my chemistry, puts me into fear state and out of rest, restore and repair. Now, does that mean that you can't have a conversation with somebody and ask, well, look, I've got a bit of fear here. Yes, of course you can. See, some people have got to be more careful. That's completely fine. But think about what you're believing. What are you saying to others? Your words. I had my friend's kids here and my grandkids, and it's like, oh, I thought I was going to die there. And I was like, stop saying that. Our words have a vibration, a frequency, and the cells hear the frequency. It's all about frequency. So if you don't want it, don't say it. So start focusing on your best case scenario. I'm strong, I'm healthy, I've got a powerful immune system. And you know what? If your tea's out, maybe your tea's out. I really think we are feeling that we can play God and we have a lot of control. And I just wonder, how much control do we really have? So, is it true? Like, let's take my friends. Well, I'll not get my visa. What if I don't get my visa? Because that's what you do, because you want the visa so much. And then it's like, well, no, the visa's here. I'm getting the visa. The visa is here, and she got the visa. Now, does it always work like that? We have to, this is the whole trick of the mind and the neuroscience, the neuroplasticity, is tricking the body back into this like, whoa, best case scenario. And that's a habit. And we learn a lot from our parents, obviously, and our peers and our siblings. If you're in the habit of going to the worst case scenario, you might have to work harder than somebody who's just like, oh, it'll be fine. Because genuinely speaking, some people do think that, it'll be fine. And others are like, no, it won't be fine, and if you don't do that, So again, always take it back to you. If your neighbours are annoying you, your partner, your kids, whatever, take it back to you. How is it making you feel? What's it bringing up for you? And are you believing thoughts that are making you sick? There's a good book, Thoughts That Heal, Thoughts That Kill. Because this is about 100% self-responsibility. And if you give your power away, your full power away to a doctor, a politician, a lawyer, etc., and you do not understand that you are playing a part in all of it, then you will be the victim. And this work is about moving out the victim consciousness and saying, I can cause an effect. To what degree depends on what I believe. And if you're believing all your negative thoughts, then you're doing it to yourself. So let's go through this again. This is the work from Byron Katie. Is it true? I will die if I get COVID. Is that true? I mean, I don't believe that, but I'm just talking you through this. And the second question is, can I absolutely know it is true that I would die if I got COVID? Well, no, I can't know that. I don't know that. Maybe I've had it. Who knows? Maybe I would be asymptomatic. Maybe I would get it and it would be a very light symptoms. Maybe I would get it and it would be horrible. We don't know. So the third question is, how does it make you feel when you choose to believe that thought? So now you're starting to see who's doing this to who. How does it make you feel when you choose to believe that thought? Well, it makes you feel scared, doesn't it? And then you turn. The fourth question is, who would you be without that thought? So that thought's just not, it can come and it can go. You don't believe it. You don't give it any focus and energy and attention. It might have come in and then it just goes. So who would you be without that thought? I'm going to die if I get sick. Okay, so then you turn it around. What if I don't die? What if I lived a fulfilling and exciting life? That's just another thought. Same as what if I die? They're both just two opposing thoughts. We decide which one we want to believe. Now again, of course, I'm simplifying it. If you're really truly scared and you've a lot of fear, and if you're dehydrated and you're malnourished and you've got trauma from the past, and I know a lot of people have, so in that deep fear state, it can be very challenging to get out of it. But you can just, one step at a time, start tapping, start breathing. You don't even need to think of any words. Just go on YouTube, get a breathing video and breathe. And as soon as you start to oxygenate the cells, get the heart rate starts to slow down, your blood pressure comes down, and your thinking changes. It's really, really insultingly simple, but you need to do it. Anyway, I think that's enough for me banging on today. If anybody's got any questions, what's really nice about all the messages I'm getting is that people are starting to ask, what can I do? Because we just rock up and expect somebody to fix us like we're a car. We're not. We're conscious, supreme, energetic, powerful, loving, compassionate beings that are affecting our inner world, ourselves, with everything we think, say and do. So it is absolutely imperative that we start to really, really understand. And this is why your tribe is going to be really important. Get out the fear. We need to move out the fear, because it's in the 12-step programme as well. Just for today, are we okay? And I know that most of us are, some won't be. But can you just let go of being scared of tomorrow? And can you let go of what happened in the past? Now, I've given you these techniques. So you're going to be cutting out some of the junk food, or one of them. Put in some more veggies, maybe a wee juice, maybe a wee probiotic, or some digestive enzymes to help your digestive system. You're going to up your water and your healthy fats. And then you're going to tap and breathe and let go. And you're going to think, if that's the worst case scenario, I might die. What is the best case scenario? I might live to have a fulfilling, amazing life, helping others in this most incredible time in history. I mean, it is bonkers, absolutely bonkers what's going on just now. Nobody knows what's going to happen. People are spouting their opinions with great anger and great justification, lots of ego out there. None of us, I don't think, really know. So what can we do? Nothing. But what we can do, nothing out there, we can do it in here. We can feed the body, feed the mind, we can hydrate, we can let go, and we can feel peaceful, and we can love each other and support each other, even if you want to wear a mask. Anyway, lots and lots of love to all of you, and thanks for joining. It's brilliant. Please share the video with anybody. I've got a YouTube channel. There's loads of good stuff. If you've got a specific worry, PM me and I will make you a video. And to help you let it go. We need, as a nation, as an absolute global community, to get out of fear so that we can think straight, so that our bodies are in the rest, restore and repair state, so that we're ready for growing our own food. Anyway, huge love. Have a